lesson plan encourages students to identify with radical jihadists, encourages them to put themselves in the spot of what somebody might be. What's the feeling like when you put on that bomb and that vest, and why would you just blow yourself up? Children, we want you to think and put yourself in the mindset of a Palestinian jihadist who goes into a marketplace and blows his body as spits of flesh all over the walls and takes as many Israelis as he can. Now, think about what it would be like, and I want you to think like them and identify with them. Seriously, this is not like watching a PBS story on, like, you used to watch, like, with the lions crouching.
That was awful.
And then, like, going and taking down the zebra.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Okay? Well, now, PBS, we're paying for this junk, all right? A high school lesson plan encourages students to empathize with young Palestinian terrorists who want to become suicide bombers, to achieve martyrdom, and suggests that they would rather die because Palestinians have less land and are restricted.
I'm not sure if you guys caught that. That propaganda, oh my stinking gosh.
Look what it's called. Title. We'll read that title.
The Dying to Be a Martyr multimedia lesson plan.
It's a multimedia lesson plan, right? It's available free of cost, of course, to teachers and students at PBS Learning.
It's indoctrination into
Pin Gallery. That's what we call it, Pin Gallery. Thank you.
Into a religion.
It utilizes videos titled Martyrdom and Suicide Bombing. Now, here's the thing. If I put martyrdom or suicide bombing in my YouTube video, it will automatically be demonetized because it's controversial and it's talking about war. But you can have teenagers doing sections on suicide bombing and Israel and Palestine, which is probably definitely told from the Palestinians' point of view, as well as internet sites and primary sources to examine the roots of the Middle East conflict. Now listen to this. Students are asked to be able to understand why individuals and groups sometimes turn to acts of terrorism. Identify with your terrorist. You know what? I don't want to identify with a terrorist. I don't want to know what makes them go cuckoo. I don't want to know what would make you put a bomb. Some of them put bombs on like 5-year-olds. Have you seen the pictures?
Stockholm syndrome.
It is exactly the Stockholm syndrome. And this is the same thing, not to switch subjects because we're going to stay on this, but it is the same thing that they're trying to implement when they go to children with the transgender agenda, because if you put an idea into a child's mind, it's like planting a seed.
Right.
And so that's exactly what they're doing with this. They're planting a seed to get children to sympathize with the Palestinians, and not just with Palestinians, but with Islamic terrorism.
But do you see how they put that together? People, this is why we are, I realize Israel has its issues. But why
breaks the child's mind.
Why we are pro-Israel is because we're anti-Palestinian. Okay? Because here's the thing. Did you see how they just wove together all Palestinians and terror together and jihadis? Listen to this. At first, students are asked to learn about the connections that all three major faiths have. They always do this. It drives me insane. We are a country of Judeo-Christian values. Islam ain't part of our country.
Good night, Stacy, and good night, Common Spoon.
Good night, guys. It will never be a part of our country. That Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have to Israel, right? However, later on in this lesson, students view the video Israel and Palestine and are asked to focus on 25-year-old Maji Amr, who built a bomb in 2003 for a suicide bomber in Haifa, who ultimately killed 17 people and wounded 50 more on a bus. So, you guys, let's sit together. We're going to sing Kumbaya. And you know what we could do with this video, by the way, is we can, I am doing sections, so later on if we felt like we wanted to sit down and eat bonbons and cut this up.
These comments are so great. Mom, somebody, the pest control man, would like to know if he can have our hand in marriage. He asked that question to you specifically. Tim T said, does the frog, the gay frog, fit in here somewhere? I'm sorry, guys. These comments, if you just see me randomly smiling, it's because you guys are hilarious.
You should just
and I love you.
Shout them out. We'll make them tie in.
Speak slowly, please.
Oh,
okay, so trolls, I have figured out how to block you. I will step behind the cell phone.
Oh!
Don't make me do it.
Don't make her do it.
Don't make me do it.
I think it's wonderful because, like, I think that they should learn. If they want to sit here, just ignore them. They're learning. This is learning time. Okay?
Okay, class, gather in.
Learning time.
Carry
gather
on.
in. We're going to learn how not to be a terrorist, okay? PBS wants you to learn how to be a terrorist. We're going to learn how not to be a terrorist, all right? And how to identify them and identify terrorism indoctrination. All right, so they were asked to focus on this guy who kills a bunch of people, and students are asked to compare Maji's view of suicide bombing with that of 18-year-old Mahande Abdu Tayoun, who wavers in carrying out his suicide mission and ultimately goes to jail in Israel. So I want you to really think about this.
Think hard and long.
Right? Part 3 of the lesson plan. So, you know, we identify with them, and some people maybe they don't want to blow themselves up. Just maybe. Sane people don't blow themselves up. Students view an interview with Mohandi in jail and are asked to identify how Mohandi views his life and how he feels.
I think it's Mohammed.
Mohammed, thank you, that's right. How he
Good for
feels
something.
it differs from the lives of the Israelis and Jews. Read this. Just read that.
Martyrdom leads us to God. He responds, I don't want this life. When you become a martyr, your prize for carrying out the operation is going to heaven. We Palestinians prefer to die, just kill ourselves rather than live this worthless life. Our lives are worthless. We are hollow bodies living a pointless life. Was that good?
I think it was probably a little bit more.
You didn't like it?
It was a little bit
I didn't have a chance to
Shakespearean.
practice it.
Israelis enjoy their lives. They go out at night. They have cafes and nightclubs. They travel all over the world. They go to America and Britain. We can't even leave Palestine. So you know what? It's better if I just blow myself up. That sounds like a seriously demented person who needs psychological help. Teachers are asked to check students' understanding of the reasons. So you have to be able to understand his reasons. He feels he would rather die. This is like a real weird euthanasia thing going on here. And be a martyr than live his life. The lesson suggests that Mohammed may feel that way because Palestinians have less land, fewer privileges, and cannot come and go as they please. Part 4 of the lesson plan, Maji is interviewed in a video and is asked why it is acceptable for him to kill women and children. I don't understand this. I don't understand. You guys, this is somebody explain to me how this can even be possible. How we're even discussing this. Who made this into a lesson plan?
And how did it get past anyone?
Seriously, you guys, if the Israelis kill a child in Gaza, I'm ready to kill one in Tel Aviv.
This is part, okay, for those of you that are just joining us, this is part of a constructed lesson plan that PBS is kind of
Offering for free to our U.S. students.
Yes.
How to become a terrorist.
Or
How to identify with a terrorist.
and yeah, kind of feel what they're feeling.
He says, if they destroy houses in Gaza, I'll do it in Tel Aviv. If they give me security in my land, then there's no problem. No instructions are provided telling teachers to denounce the radical claims made by Majdi, and there are no other lesson plans describing the conflict from the point of view of the Israelis.
Wow.
J.P. Morgan Chase.
Of course.
What did we tell
Always
you guys?
the bankers. Do you guys understand that J.P. Morgan and that entire family line goes all the way back to Ford, Carnegie, and Rockefeller, and
Isn't Soros Chase? I think he is.
think he is.
I don't know. It was some other guy. Okay, some big name. No, Rockefeller. Sorry, got my guys mixed up. And the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is funded by the federal government, fund the Lessons Plans website. The Christian Action Network has filed a demand letter that the U.S. Education Department urging it to stop funding the Islamic Lessons Plan. So PBS Learning Media is one of the websites that is promoting it. This is beyond, you guys. This is serious. They're teaching kids how to be terrorists. It's just beyond. It's beyond my thinking.
I was cold.